Dad, I really want a $620 million deal. Can you help? And according to an actual Pentagon official describing the moment that Uncle Sam decided to hand $620 million in deals to a 2-year-old startup, quote, the call came from the White House. We have to get this done. Absolutely incredible, because I've never gotten a phone call like that, ever. But mostly it's because my dad isn't Donald McGrift. And the startup that got this $620 million deal, Vulcan Elements, a company out of North Carolina that deals in rare earth magnets, the stuff that goes in drones and missiles and war parts. And the part that smells especially fishy. About 3 months before the Pentagon announced this deal, this $620 million deal, Don Jr., Donald Trump Jr.'s venture firm 1789 Capital, quietly bought a stake in Vulcan. And we don't know the size. And ProPublica did an investigation that found out that of the dozens of companies the Pentagon was looking at, Vulcan's was the only deal personally kicked off by a top aide to the president. And that aide, Peter Navarro. You remember Peter Navarro went to actual jail for blowing off a January 6th subpoena. And while he was in there, you know who came to visit him? Don Jr. brought him a fruit basket of loyalty. Navarro dedicated a book to Don Jr. for having his back when it was up against the wall. And on Don Jr.'s streaming show, Jr. called Navarro my boy and complimented the jacked physique that he built up in the clink. Navarro called Don Jr. brother. I just picture them having that aggressively awkward bro hug that Rocky and Apollo shared while frolicking at the beach in Rocky III. Absolutely insane.
When I met your now sweetheart the first time was actually in a federal prison down in South Florida. I had to come visit my boy. Hey, I saw you down there, man. You got pretty jacked in prison, though. I mean, you had the time. I mean, I was like, damn, Peter, you look ripped. I may have to let the Democrats have their way with me. You know, maybe not for too long, but a couple of months just to get jacked.
When my back was against the wall, you had my back, brother. And,
it's my honor, my friend. Thank you.
And really, I think about it, and I've got to get this straight here, because Don Jr. visits his buddy Peter Navarro in prison. Navarro gets out, becomes the president's senior counselor, and then makes the phone call that turns Don Jr.'s little investment into a jackpot. And how much money are we talking here? Well, let's look. Vulcan was worth around $200 million when 1789 bought in. And after this deal, around $2 billion, a tenfold increase in just weeks. The Pentagon staff worked late nights, no sleep, to ram this thing through because they were told it was a White House priority. So now everyone's shocked, I tell you, that anyone would see a problem with this. The Pentagon swears, and I'm quoting, outside affiliations, investors, or political connections play absolutely no role. None. Zero. It's just a coincidence that a deal with Trump's kids' money got the express lane, while some tungsten dealer in Nevada had to hire a lobbyist, begged for a meeting, and still got rejected. And that guy in Nevada told reporters, actually told them, that he was hoping you didn't need to be, quote, chums with Trump Jr. to get funded. Buddy, you just answered your own question. In the White House, for all of this, they say it was just working at Trump speed. Trump speed, the new turbocharger, where if your last name happens to rhyme with the president's, your paperwork moves at the velocity of a teenager in one of those commercials where they bypass the purple stuff and rush for the Sunny D. Everyone else gets to fill out the form and wait by the phone forever, drinking the purple stuff. Look, at this point, the fraud father isn't even being subtle, because there's already another one of these deals in the pipeline, a Florida drone parts company that Don Jr. advises on and owns a piece of. It's up for a Pentagon loan. The family that grifts together stays liquid together. And the best part of all this, the best line out of any of this story, comes from a Republican, Richard Painter, who was the ethics lawyer in the Bush White House. And he said, "This is our money they're spending. This is corruption we pay for." We're paying for it. We are paying for that corruption with a smile. The magnet and the missile, you bought it. And then you also bought Don Jr. a new yacht and some Colombian Bam Bam while you were at it. And I bet you didn't hear this story being reported on in the mainstream media. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification icon because you do not want to miss another story like this.